I'm Zoe Delahunty-Light, and this video is for those of you who are just starting out with Diablo 4. Whether you've never played a Diablo before, or you've dipped into Diablo 3, but that was many moons ago, and you need a reminder about how to do the whole save sanctuary thing. A video filled with more advanced tips will be coming in the next few weeks, so if you're familiar with Diablo, you might want to wait for that one. Anyway, for those of you who are dipping your toes into the blood-drenched sanctuary for the first time, here we go. These are 10 tips that will help your wanderer stay alive and thrive for just that little bit longer. Even if this is your very first Diablo, I'd still recommend playing Diablo 4 on veteran difficulty. This may sound scary at first, but I promise you'll get to grips with it really quickly. Veteran mode has enemies drop more XP, so it'll level you up way quicker. Mind you, if you're still hesitant, I'd suggest playing the first bit of Diablo 4 until you get to the city of Kjovashad, then turn veteran difficulty on using the Inarius statue by the cathedral. But really, believe in yourself. Veteran difficulty is worth the push, even if you've never played a Diablo before. Keeping track of what items you've already transmogged and which ones you have yet to grind up and wear is tricky, but there's a very clear thing to look out for in your inventory if you want every conceivable look for your wanderer in Diablo 4. When interacting with the armourer or the blacksmith, you'll see a hammer on some items and not on others. This hammer indicates that you can salvage that item, thus gaining it as a transmog option in your wardrobe. No hammer means that you already have that look available, so thus can sell the item instead without any repercussions. Remember to unsocket your gems before selling it though, people. Those things are important. At lower levels, you'll pick up a handful of crude gemstones that won't be worth a lot and look kind of useless. Relatable. However, don't throw them away. You can put them in jewellery, weapons and armour as they are, or you can store them in your chest, which is just by your wardrobe, and save them for level 20, which is when the gem cutter unlocks. Once you have 3 crude gemstones, you can go to the gem cutter, who will upgrade your crude gemstones into chipped gemstones, strengthening them and therefore applying stronger effects to your items. You can then get 3 more chipped gemstones and upgrade the gemstone in question yet again, and so on and so forth. Never sell a piece of item or a weapon or a bit of jewellery without unsocketing the gem in it first, as once you pay the fee, you can put it in another item, no bother. This is personal preference, but I would personally advise you to always salvage yellow items and never ever sell them. That's because you get veiled crystals from salvaging yellow items, which you will need to upgrade your gear and weapons and jewellery to the highest level. Once you've stockpiled enough veiled crystals, you can sell yellow items once more for cold, hard cash. Having a sunk cost fallacy mindset in Diablo will only harm you, because you have the power to refund the cost of abilities you're not using, enabling you to spend that special skill point on something more useful to your current build. Don't commit to something you don't vibe with, and definitely allow yourself to experiment at higher levels. Diablo 4's Renown system rewards you for exploring each area, whether that consists of uncovering the map and dispelling the fog of war, finding Lilith statues, or doing side quests. It's perfect for people like me who love uncovering every little bit of the map before doing anything. But even if you kind of go with the flow and uncover the map as you do the main quest, Renown is still worth keeping tabs on, as when you get well known enough, you're rewarded with gold, XP and 1 hallowed skill point. So even if you forget about Renown and don't track it, just remember every now and again to check in on it, and you could find yourself mere millimeters away from a reward. Now, if you haven't played a Diablo before, this might sound like a scary suggestion, but hear me out. Try more difficult areas if you're finding things too easy in veteran difficulty. Yes, your item durability will decrease by 10% every time you die, so be careful, but I think the potential rewards are definitely worth it. In higher level areas, you'll find items that are dropped are higher level, which you can equip as soon as you reach said level, which sounds obvious, but hear me out. This is handy because I find that the armor I get from the level suitable areas is often way below the level I'm currently at. But if you go to the more difficult areas and kill enough monsters, your equipment won't be playing catch up to your level. Instead, it will be reversed. Exploring these higher level regions sooner also means you can upgrade your health potions sooner, as the herbs from these regions are required for later upgrades. All in all, going to the higher level areas just saves you a little bit of legwork later on. Always unsocket your gems from your equipment before you sell or salvage it. I know I said this before, but it's so important that it honestly bears repeating. If you don't do this, you're just losing out on free buffs for your build, as unsocketing gems doesn't destroy them or your gear. Also, although chipped or crude gems might sound like they're almost useless, they are most certainly not. Use them to boost your armor, jewelry, or weapon stats, even if it's just a little smidge or boost. At lower levels, you'll be leveling up and looting fresh gear to match said level so frequently that you won't need to buy weapons or armor from vendors unless you see something that truly catches your eye. I would advise selling your gear at lower levels to build up some savings so you have a little nest egg to dip into when the good stuff starts to appear at higher levels. As you level up so quickly, especially in veteran difficulty with that extra XP buff, you'll be switching up your gear frequently and won't really need to upgrade it either, so you might as well sell it in preparation for orange items appearing in Kyovashad. Do not forget your elixirs. I did, which was stupid. This is a classic video game issue some of us have where we hoard useful things instead of just using them, with the worry that something really difficult is going to come up later in the game, but then these powerful items just gather dust in our inventory because nothing is ever hard enough to warrant using them. Trust me, I know the pain. You can craft elixirs using the same person who upgrades your health potions, and it's definitely worth frequently looking in and seeing what ingredients you have. And if you pair this with my advice to always be checking out the higher level regions that might look a little bit scary, then I think you'll find you'll be able to craft certain elixirs way beyond when you usually should if you were sticking with the main story. Just make sure to never ever sell any herbs because they don't really take up that much space in your inventory, and so you might as well use them for something useful. Elixirs will help you out, so for God's sake, just use them. There you go, those are the tips I have for you for Diablo IV, for those of you who are just starting out in the game. I've got my first taste of multiplayer/MMO presence of other players in the game after playing it all early access the past weekend, and at this point I am not a massive fan, which I think is kind of a predictable thing to say. However, if you're just starting out with Diablo, do let me know in the comments how you find seeing other people in your world, as I am interested to know what it's like from a newcomer's perspective. For me, it breaks immersion, but if you're more used to MMOs, maybe it's a bit more tolerable. Let me know if you have any advanced tips for Diablo 4 in the comments below, as that's the next video I'm going to make, probably. In the meantime, I shall keep you updated with plenty of Diablo 4 content, perhaps a video coming out on the most disturbing things I found in the game that will 100% get demonetized the second YouTube gets a sniff of it. If you've made it this far, thanks so much for watching, and make sure you subscribe to Eurogamer and like this video for more videos from yours truly, as we have a new video out almost every single day. Now, I'm going to go and mourn my wiped Necromancer and bring her back to life, which I think she would be wholly supported of, so I'll see you lot next time.